Yo, haha, Miltnificent. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Miltnificent coming back with another quick video, man. Today we got the Dame 9 Solar Red, and I do want to take a quick look at this shoe, mainly because I do have the 81 lows, and I felt that there were some subtle differences between both shoes. Of course, both shoes are kind of like, I want to say it's a low fair price for most people, but in terms of basketball performance, I know a lot of people are curious about the tech specs. What are the differences that, maybe occur with the 81 lows versus the Dame 9? But this is my first Dame 9 on the Miltnificent channel, but I do want to take a look at some things that may or may not be able to help you in terms of which one to choose. And if you want to get both, I think personally you can. So let me put this back. I'm going to get straight into it because we have the infamous Dame logo. Again, this is the 9th series. I did notice some things about this shoe that does resemble some of the other shoes that I reviewed in the past, but I'll get into that momentarily. Of course, you got the 3-stripe right here, Dame logo, size 13. And again, this was kind of the colorway that I wanted to go after, just because after seeing the Bape series Dame 9, and I think he came out with like a purple blast or a purple hue color way, I wanted this one more. And then there's also a Halloween version, which looks like this, that should be coming out momentarily, but we shall see. So with that said and done, man, let's just open this bad boy up. And of course, I do like that. You know what time it is. It is Dame. And Dame Lillard, let me tell you right now, from a personality standpoint, comes to me, he says a lot without saying anything. And on this shoe, you're going to notice that there are two different sayings on the, I want to say it's the medial side of both shoes. There's two different messages. There's hidden gems on this shoe that you may or may not see. But let's get straight into it, man. Dame 9 Solar Red, man. This thing, man, I can already feel the inner beauty. And also, yeah, this comes with spare laces. So that's an added touch to it. So let me just kind of put this down here. We'll get straight into it. And you look at the shoe, man, you feel it. It feels like an actual basketball shoe. And it does have that light strike, full length, kind of like foam design on the actual shoe itself. But with light strike, from what I understand, people did say that this takes time to break in. So it's not like, this is kind of where I want to get with the comparison. It's not like the 81, because on 81 low, they use that light strike foam, which is kind of like a little bit more dense than this. So I feel like this light strike is a little bit more stiffer, if that makes sense. So you'll feel that both in the heel and the forefoot of the actual 81 low. But when it comes to the actual Dame 9 series, what you're going to notice is that this is actually full length light strike, if I'm not mistaken. The one thing about this design that kind of got me curious about is the fact that when you go to the medial side, you'll notice that you'll see that light strike foam, right? Especially towards here, towards like kind of like the bridge of the actual shoe. You'll notice that on this side, you'll see that it's foam, but on this side, it's rubber. And that's supposed to be able to, hopefully, from what I understand, it keeps the stability of the shoe intact. So basically, when you play basketball, you're on the court, and when you're doing your moves, typically what happens is your foot tends to bend in. So the support needs to be here on the outer side to kind of create stability. So just picture yourself cutting, doing that cut. This is foam, so it's going to absorb the tension, whereas this is basically going to keep everything tension, or actually everything stable, to keep your foot from doing this. That's kind of the whole design by design, so I thought that was an added touch. One thing I will say about this, it does kind of have that, like a textile upper feeling towards it, but it has like an inner booty. This inner booty is stitched in the actual shoe, so it's like stitched on each side. You'll see a video right here of what I'm talking about. In terms of like the ventilation, although it doesn't have the ventilation engineering design or concept of the 81s, it does kind of have some type of ventilation on the shoe itself. Some people did complain about breathability, but they did like the fact that, again, this was a durable, very comfortable shoe that when you break it in over time, it feels good. The breathability is actually in the tongue itself. And let me just take this out because it does have like a paper design. It's in the actual tongue itself when you kind of take a light and you look up. So you're kind of getting that breathability. This is actually a thin mesh type of design. Of course, you do have kind of like the oval style rope laces. And also on the tongue, or the booty, I should say, it has the Dame logo, and this is kind of like a plastic print, if that makes sense. But it's kind of embossed on the actual tongue, and it actually feels kind of good. But this upper, from what I understand, is just synthetic leather. And although it does feel, it feels cheap, but it's kind of plasticky to a certain point. But it makes sense because over time, again, you're thinking of, I want to say, look, you're thinking of the whole longevity point, like if that makes sense. Like you're thinking about the design, people worry about the leather cracking, things of that. The way that they did this, from what I understand, the whole point is to preserve it kind of with a long-term effect for you, if that makes sense. Like instead of having that type of leather that'll crack over time with wear and use, this is designed to hopefully, and I think it will, honestly, because it does feel really, really good to the touch. It just feels fake, but it's stable enough for your kind of wear and tear everyday use. And of course, it does have the Adidas logo listed on the actual shoe, kind of stitched in there actually. And it features these 3 stripes. Now, keep in mind, the 3 stripes from the top, they do actually have 3M. So you'll notice the 3M paneling kind of like on the top of this 3 stripes on both sides, but there's also 3M on the back. And you can see that it does have Dame, the number 0 on there, but this is also 3M. The one thing I was going to mention is that if you look on the Dame 9 series, you'll notice that it has 9 circles on the back, indicating that this is this 9th signature shoe, similar to what you would normally see in a Kobe Pro Trail. And this is what I meant like in terms of design, where Kobe also has those 5 rivets on the back towards the heel. That's kind of indicating the 5th signature shoe. This is the 9th, so I kind of saw similarities there. I thought that was kind of cool. It does have a translucent lightning bolt design towards the bottom, and a lot of people are saying that this is more for like an indoor shoe versus an outdoor shoe. So I'm guessing because the tread doesn't really look as thick as it is, that this kind of does really do good indoor on courts in terms of grip and slippage, but it does attract a lot of dust. But of course it does have that rubber D logo on the actual bottom for Damien's logo. And on the actual insole, if I'm not mistaken, these are coordinates, and you'll see the definition of those coordinates right here. But they do feature the same insoles that they use on the actual AE1 low. So it's not much of a difference there. One of the things I did want to read off before I do the on feet and the lace swap for this shoe is before even all that, you can actually see the light stripe foam kind of exposed on the forefoot, as well as the heel, if you kind of look and zoom in. The hidden message. So the hidden message, this is what I wanted to talk about. When you look at the hidden message on the right side of the Dame 9, if you read inside, and I'll have it kind of enhanced, but it says arrogance is weakness disguised as strength on the actual right side of the shoe. And on the left side, that actually has the extra lace. This is kind of pretty cool, actually. It's like a lime. But anyway, on the left side, it does read, humility is the root of confidence. So remember when I said Dame Lillard, to me, he comes off as a person that, from a character standpoint, I feel like he doesn't say much, but he knows a lot. So he's kind of like me. He's observant, kind of observing what goes on before he speaks out. So, you know, although the personality, for some people, it's like he's kind of chill, but he's also observant. So don't sleep on Dame. Dame, it seems like he has a high working standard without people knowing a lot about his personal life, if that makes sense. But he's definitely observant on the court. And I do get why Adidas kind of really went above and beyond to the tech specs, but also kept it within price range so it's not crazy priced, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people was looking for that same engineering concept with the Harden series, but in this, I kind of agree with why they went with this synthetic leather, because from a durability standpoint, this will last longer over time. You can see me just basically just puncturing the living daylights out of this thing, trying to make a mark out of it, but it actually conforms and comes back to its original state. So that's kind of good. I mean, there's benefits, although we don't like to hear that things aren't 100% leather. But, you know, over the course of time, leather, in my opinion, depending on the type of leather you get, it has its benefits, but you can definitely see like the wrinkle effect of leather versus the way they did this with the combination of a plastic slash leather. I mean, I'm literally digging my nails into it, and you can see that it just comes back to its original state, which is an added bonus. But your boy Miltnificent, man, Dame 9 Solar Red on the Miltnificent channel, the first Dame 9 series, hopefully not the last, because that Halloween one, man, looks kind of good, and I kind of want to have that. But I will be doing the on-feet and the lace swap for this shoe. Dame 9 Solar Red, comment below, let me know what you think about this shoe, if it's something that you'll be interested in. I just wanted to kind of get this on the Miltnificent channel because I was curious about it, and after, you know, kind of losing out on the Bape 9 series, at least the collaboration, still wanted to get this one because I had my eyes on this one. I like the bright colors typically on the design. This design, or at least this color, looks similar to, and you'll see a video, to the Red Blast that LaMelo did for the Puma series on the MB01, if I'm not mistaken. But it's kind of that red hue if you're trying to gauge what type of color this looks like. So a little color comparison for you. But your boy Miltnificent, man. Real quick before we go into that on feet with the lace swap, I want to let everybody know regarding the Dame 9. If you're looking for a lockdown effect, at least on this shoe, I would definitely recommend using the last eye stay of the shoe. You'll see a video right here where you're basically kind of using that last eye stay to really lock down the tongue towards your ankle, and then you'll feel containment. It feels so good. And actually, when you wear this shoe, it's going to feel weird at first when you look kind of like when you put it in at first, just because the top of the shoe is going to feel like it's kind of restricted. But as you wear it over time, it definitely feels really, really comfortable. So, and also sizing. I wear size 13, and this is the first shoe that I wore where I actually recommend going a half size down from your normal size. I can't believe I'm saying that. But your boy Miltnificent, man, this is a really good shoe, and I definitely will be going after the Halloweens. You guys, stay blessed.